up, lay it down just like Matt Amari. Wrestling RHAPup's gonna make it sorry. Feeling like The Rock cause I'm driving in Ferraris. And we coming every week and it's feeling like a party. Moolah Ric Flair, showing out like Bianca, Belair, Best podcast, flush it in the air, Roman Reigns and we win it, don't care, No cap. Throw 'em up, lay it down just like Matt Amari. Wrestling RHAPup's gonna make it sorry. Feeling like The Rock cause I'm driving in Ferraris. And we coming every week and it's feeling like a party.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Wrestling RHAPup podcast. I'm your host, Mari Forth, and with me, as always, my tag team partner, Mr. Matt Scott. Matt, how are you?
I'm feeling like money. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling like a CEO.
Yes.
CEO.
Yes.
Happy to be here. I'm very happy to be here with you, Mari. With no guests this week. Like, what? Who are we?
Who are we? What are we doing here?
Who are we?
Yeah, we're giving you as much content as possible. It's just the two of us today. So we are going to be flying through these topics. I am
words.
Yeah, famous. Very true. Famous last words. Us flying through. Yeah, I mean, what a week. What a week in wrestling. I mean, I've never been so happy to have so many options, even if I can't even watch them all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just really appreciate that wrestling in itself has so many spots to land for so many talented people, you know?
Yeah.
So saying that, we got to start off with big business. Of course, we are repping Mercedes Mone today. It was officially official. She is finally here. She's all elite, apparently.
Oh yeah. She's always been elite, though.
She is, but I don't understand why she couldn't have kept that the theme song you're singing. Like,
she probably could have. I don't know. I just feel like we could figure that out. Like, she could have figured. Maybe she wanted a new, like she's feeling like a new girl, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! But I have to also say, Mari, what do you, just since we're on the theme song,
dog? She's so blingy.
How do you feel about her theme song, first and foremost?
Well, so the first time I heard it when she came out to talk, I was like, "What is this?" And it's like the intro to it sounds like it's exactly like Gunther's intro, but then when later it sounded like a little different. So I'm not sure yet. Like I'm not sure. I think I have to re-listen to it like a few more times in order to really get it. I couldn't get past just the CEO chants. Like, I saw a video from inside the arena after everything went off air, and then I heard her rapping part because it is her. I was like, oh yeah, there's like more to it. So I think I just gotta listen to it. Yeah, I gotta find it and listen to it because I really couldn't hear anything over the chants, which is great, you know.
Maybe they were making some edits, like someone was backstage just sitting there like making some tweaks, like, let's just fix the theme song a little bit while we're here. I mean, it caught me off guard just because I wasn't expecting the CEO of it all. And it's interesting because, like, clearly within the theme song there's a CEO chant, but then the crowd was actually chanting CEO. And I think it's brilliant. I just want to say I think it's brilliant because get them to do it immediately. Like, who knows if they would have done that chant or something else, but I was so on board. I'm such a fan. We're such fans of her, and like you said, so blingy, so much bling. Mari, we got her coming out. We had 3 looks from our girl Mercedes.
Curbing on curbing in this picture. Hopefully,
she was literally wearing like 2
opportunity
reveals.
to say glow right there, like you really did. But anyways, hopefully you're watching us on our new YouTube channel at youtube.com/@Wrestling RHAPup. That's youtube.com/@Wrestling RHAPUP, so that you can see all of the looks that I've rudely interrupted Matt explaining. Like, look at these looks. Look at the looks.
I mean, look at it. She had so many. She came out with like her furriness, like the fur coat with the
Yeah.
train
Or
on it,
the
took that off,
feathers.
had another reveal
Yo, that
from that
reveal,
other thing that
yeah,
she had under
that was nice.
into like so she had kind of her like her CEO blazer going on,
This is
revealed
nice,
that
yeah.
into something that like could have been wrestling attire. But then
Mhm.
later in the night when she came out, she had freaking I mean
Yeah.
full
I
on
like
wrestling
this.
attire, shoulder pads. Like I don't
Shoulder
know.
pads.
She's just trying to get in all of the looks while she can. I'm impressed.
I'm very impressed. I think this is perfect. I think it's really great to really distinguish yourself differently from your former character.
Mhm.
So her ring gear being different from not only WWE but New Japan, you know, and here
But also literally from like 5 minutes before, like yeah,
yes. Like I could definitely see the running theme of like cuz we all know she's a jacket girly. We used to
mm,
love her jackets in WWE. I could see these like blazer style jackets being the theme, CEO, like a blingy
yeah,
CEO. Like I'm so here for it. I can't wait to see what she does. She opened the Big Business episode of AEW Dynamite with an amazing, inspiring, passionate promo.
sure
Basically,
did.
which I appreciate it because it's like, yes, I know this. I know everything about Mercedes Renato. I know everything about like her journey and stuff like that. But people might not. The AEW audience might not. I doubt they don't. But you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what
Yeah,
we've been asking from AEW for like a while now. It's
right.
like, you know, explain. Like, don't act like people already know. Explain it a
Yeah.
little bit. And so her coming out and laying out everything that we've heard over the years in WWE, her wanting to be a wrestler since she was 10, having to drop out of school to take care of her brother, making it like when she was younger, like all of this. I loved it.
I have to just breathe before I say what I'm about to say. I just get like the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Just breathe. Take it in. So I don't want to give too much attention to the negativity,
Uh-oh.
but I do want to acknowledge it. I feel like I need to have a statement prepared, Mari, to say this so I don't
Uh-oh.
lose it on these fans. So initially she did her entrance, there was like one person in the crowd who was giving her like a thumbs down or
Oh,
something like
really?
that. Like some
Oh.
random ass Boston hater. And then when she's cutting her promo, more notably, you just hear probably one person shouting, just trying to shout in the middle of her saying things. I don't know what they were saying. I don't know if they were
Really?
saying we don't
Mm.
want you here or what, but there was one point where someone early on the promo shouted, and then a bunch of people seemed to be shouting back at them, like, shut up. But she kept
Oh
going.
my god,
But
that's
this was
crazy.
like, but it's just funny, one, how people want to make the show about them.
Yeah.
Two, I also love how I actually love that the promo that she delivered was just so real, so heartfelt.
Mhm.
It's all the things
Mhm.
that we love and appreciate about her. It's also a lot of the struggles. So if you're booing her and being it's too early to curse, but mean person,
Mhm.
like, really, she dropped out of school to take care of her family. She is all about that money, taking care
Yes.
of her family. She gets
Yeah.
out of the ring and is hugging her family. Like, she is so lovely, and people criticize her left and right. I'm sure there are
Mhm.
already dirt sheet rumors about her having heat, but just like
Yeah.
grow up, grow up. She's about that
Exactly.
business. It's a business, and she is big business.
It really was like that's why I said I had to acknowledge the fact that there's just like there's companies and stuff like that
Mhm.
because like the discourse over the next few days after it was just so exhausting, like
Really?
tribalism this tribalism stuff, it's like, are y'all not tired? It's been 5 years. It's been 5 years of this back and forth of AEW versus WWE bullshit, like and like, "Oh, y'all love her now that she's there.
Mhm.
Oh, y'all hate her now that she's there. Oh, she did all of this for the money. Oh," like, it's
I
it's
Yeah, I go to
exhausting.
work we all go to work for the money, You know, like we go. I mean,
Okay.
that's like. I mean, sure. I'm not saying that a lot of like you could go enjoy it, love what you
Enjoy it,
do,
yeah.
what all that stuff. I feel like that more than anything. It doesn't have to feel like a job all the time when you're working, but like you're doing it to pay you have to pay your
Your bill.
bills at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And also
Exactly.
with pro wrestling, I mean, your career could only be so long, but especially looking at the women historically,
Mhm.
and even what we've seen to date, like they don't have the same career. Like we don't have the Chris Jericho level 30-year careers making
Mhm.
that much money. You know, a
Mhm.
million, probably Jericho's probably made $1 million+ for at least 30 years at this point, or
Right.
maybe like 25 years at this point. Regardless, I think that I just love that she's going for it. And I'm also going to point this out that I appreciate how big she is on just saying, here's what I'm worth, here's who I am.
Me too.
Because you know what? I listen to some of these interviews with other wrestlers, and no shade to them. I love them, but you could tell the difference between the ones who go on to be huge stars, main eventers, millionaires, and those who don't. Like John Cena, Mercedes Mone, they have this drive that like
Mhm. To
gets
be
them
the best.
further. So don't
Yeah.
hate, like learn from it, maybe appreciate it. Wish that you could be on that level. But I just want to say back to the tribalism for a second. I did watch all of Dynamite, some more closely than others, but I was watching all of Dynamite and it was a really good show. Like I appreciate it. I love seeing Samoa Joe. I love
Yeah.
I'm sure that Low, shout out to Wrestling Wind Down, loved seeing War Daddy,
Yeah.
Wardlow out there. Darby Allin was always makes me nervous.
He broke his foot. He
He
broke his
broke
foot.
his foot on Dynamite.
Broke his foot on
He
Dynamite. Yep.
broke his foot on Dynamite,
He
but
broke his foot
did
on
he break
Dynamite.
anything when he jumped off that ladder through that glass
That's what
on
I'm
the
saying.
stairs?
Oh, I know. I apparently not.
That
He
man
broke
is
it. They
insane.
broke it
They
on
shouldn't allow
Dynamite.
that. They shouldn't allow that. But alas, he's unique, you know, against Jay White. Okada is in
Okada was there.
AEW, which
Yep.
is a big deal. I know
Mhm.
we're not the biggest Japan people,
Yeah. No, that's a huge deal. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you know, like such a good show. And I want to say that they did it because they knew it'd be so special because of Mercedes. And she opened and closed the show. So yeah,
Yeah. I cannot say that. I literally grand opening,
I
grand
know.
closing. So
The funny thing is I told you before I watched it, I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch the whole show. And I didn't realize that she opened the show.
yeah.
And then I was like, let me just watch to the end because she'll probably close it too. Or I didn't know what to expect, but hey, it was great. Like good job, AEW. Hopefully this is a change for the women. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Surely.
Because she did come out at the end with Willow and Riho they had a really good match together, and she came out. You know, her and Willow have history, but you know it's cute. Like she did her, like you said, she did her few moves, and I
Mhm.
can't wait to see like what they build with her after this. So
Yeah, it kind of does seem like the first thing we're going to get will be a tag team match with her and Willow side by. I mean, I'm just predicting. We don't need to do all
mhm,
that, but yeah, just like ease her in.
mhm.
Obviously, there is unfinished business, as she said, with Willow. There's
Yeah.
unfinished business with so many people, though. I mean, maybe not unfinished business with so many people, but like Saraya, that's going to be really interesting whenever they meet. I know
Mhm.
I would love to see that happen just as redemption for both of them because I know that Mercedes does not hold any ill will towards Saraya for that. Or I should say the other way around. Saraya doesn't hold any ill will toward Mercedes for what happened. They're cool,
Well,
allegedly, from what I
mhm.
heard. And yeah, I just want Mercedes to go have like all the best matches of her life with Tony Storm, with Jamie Hayter, with Britt Baker,
I think her
DMD
and
versus
Her and
CEO.
Tony Storm, her and Tony Storm to me, like people were acting like, "Oh, what are your big money matches?" That's
Mhm,
my big money match, not just because Tony Storm is doing amazing right now with the timeless Tony Storm gimmick, but
mhm,
because Tony and Mercedes have talked about it for
Yeah.
years now how
Mhm.
their dream matches was to face each other. And like I want to see it. I'm pretty sure we may have seen something like it on a random Raw, but I don't think we
Mm.
have. I
I mean,
don't think we have.
not like what we're
Not
gonna
like what we
get
can get
in
yeah, in
here.
AEW. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I want to that's what I want to see. I everything that's what I want to
Mhm.
see. Everything
Yeah.
else noise to me.
Oh, no. I want all of it, though,
Yeah, I
because
mean I
we
want
will
all
get
of it,
all
but
of it.
that's my big money match. They're asking what's your
I'm
big money match?
glad. I'm glad. No, it'll be interesting, though, to see her in it, and I do feel like Mercedes is what they need. Um,
Yeah.
Look, I don't need to bring this up, but as much as I love Jade Cargill in WWE and love Jade Cargill in general, I wish that she was still here just
I
to
know.
see them at
The
some point
two.
come
Yeah.
together. But you know what? We'll get that money match probably who knows at
Who knows?
WrestleMania one day in like 10 years.
Right.
I'm ready
Yeah.
for it. I'm ready
It's
for it.
cool.
Yeah.
And real quick before we move on, the
Uh-oh.
Bayley, Naomi, and Tamina of it all has just been hilarious. Did you see
Uh-huh.
like it? Oh my
I
god, they are
saw
so
one
funny.
thing. I saw one
Mhm.
thing which you probably sent to
I
me.
reposted, yeah, or something.
Yeah, or maybe yeah, I think we both
The
saw it,
the
but I
one where
don't know.
they're putting the mask on and
And Naomi's just putting on a wig.
a wig.
Uh
Like it's like they won't know. And it's like they'll know. Like they won't
oh
know
my
because
gosh.
it's a joke because Bayley, Naomi, and Tamina were in the house to support Mercedes because, of course, they're always at each other's stuff, always. And I love
Mhm.
seeing their friendship. And but they're trying to be incognito. They are not. You all are not incognito.
I
We
mean,
know it every time y'all
I
are there.
disagree. I
I
disagree.
love it.
Look,
They got the shiesties on.
Naomi had her little
This was funny.
Naomi, I get it. You won't recognize her with the different. And
She
honestly,
said she had
Mari,
the wig on. Ugh,
honestly,
so good. These
a lot of
TikToks were
people
so
would be
good.
fooled. A lot of people would be fooled by this. A lot of people would be fooled by
There
Naomi putting on a black
There
wig
was
over
immediately
her
like
black and green hair.
20 pictures of them up in the stands, like
Oh my
recording
god.
and stuff like that. It was so
Wait, that's
funny.
funny. That's so
Yeah,
funny. I don't
there were
know. I
so
have
many
to see
pictures.
that. I do
Yeah,
love I just love that they're always there for each other,
me
that they're
too.
always in the stands somehow. Like, were they
Somewhere.
in I mean, like they weren't in like a box or anything. Where
No,
were
they
they?
were. They were like really high up from the picture I saw. It was like it was definitely a box. It's like a private box.
Ooh,
But
fancy.
but everybody could like they're fans of they're like they eventually people could see. Like first you saw Bayley because Bayley was kind of like hovering over the rails. It looked like she was taking a
Mm,
picture with her iPad, like recording with her iPad like an old person. And then people
yeah.
realized behind her, they're like, "Oh, that's Naomi and Tamina too." And then after it went off, Naomi posted that TikTok of them getting ready, disguising themselves
Oh,
to go.
that was after. Okay.
Yeah, it was after.
Wow.
And then she posted another TikTok of them like in the arena with all their masks on, like jamming to her music, like just dancing to her music and stuff. It was
Damn.
so funny. Like
Why are
I
we
love them.
I love how it's also just bringing back memories. I mean, obviously you have
Team Bad.
Team
Uh,
Bad, you have Mercedes and Bayley. I feel
mhm.
like I need to say like Mercedes and Pamela together.
Yeah, I
Mari,
know.
write that down. Write down her
Mercedes.
name for our future Four Sides of the Ring trivia, just so we know her real name or their real names for this.
Right.
But no, it is just like such a great feeling, and I hope that the positivity remains around Mercedes. I hope people feed into that.
Yeah,
I also yeah, I just don't want to give too much like space to the haters either, just
exactly.
because like there'll be a lot of people who don't want to root for Mercedes for a lot of reasons, and a lot of them have her control, um, including being a. I was gonna say black woman, which is true, but I want to acknowledge her German heritage, also black and German woman, just like her dog. Shout out to her
Yeah.
dog, Ryu.
Ryu.
Yeah, shout
Ryu.
out. But yeah, no, I'm so pumped for this, and I mean, maybe I will be watching more AEW
Yeah.
or
We'll see.
not.
We'll
maybe
see.
we'll see. Well, definitely more. Definitely
Well,
more. For sure.
it's just because if everybody knows us, they should know that Wednesday nights are just it's so
Oh my
unfortunate.
god.
It's
Anyone
like
who's trying to
so
do
unfortunate.
something Wednesday night, like, why are you
Everything
doing
is on
this?
Wednesday at night. Like
Yeah.
there are at least there are 4 other nights in the week for like primetime television, and yet everybody and their mama want to play everything on Wednesday night.
There are 6 other nights in general. Pick any other night. Pick
Yeah.
even in the daytime. Pick the daytime. Not during like when we record the Wrestling RHAPup on
Right.
Saturdays, but like any other time. We could do that.
Exactly. So it's just like it's like I'll watch it, but I'm telling you now, there's no way I'm watching it live because there's just too much other stuff I have to watch so I don't get spoiled, you know. And with wrestling, I don't mind being spoiled on like, oh, so and so had a match. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be
Mm-mm.
spoiled on who wins the match, but
Mhm.
like I love going back and be like, oh, you know, I don't watch Raw live. I don't watch Raw live, so I'm not gonna watch AEW Dynamite live.
Wow.
I don't. Like,
I mean, and I will
that's the
say
beauty
it
of DVRs. Like, that's why
yeah,
I have a DVR. I watch
I
the
know.
commercials.
I don't
I
I
hate it.
really don't love to watch live because there's a lot happening, but it just kind of drags and it's a lot of hours that not a lot's happening. Some like I was watching SmackDown
I
live, which I feel like I watched SmackDown live more than
SmackDown
I
is
watched
the
Raw.
only one I watch live. I love
But
watching
even then I'm like let's like
and
okay, let's get past this match or segment. And great match, great segment, but like if you're on the road to WrestleMania with all these marquee matches with like a big debut in AEW,
mhm.
it just is hard
And
to pay attention to
and
everything.
even SmackDown, I watch on like a 15-minute delay, so I can fast forward through the commercials,
Good,
honestly.
smart.
But
Actually,
it's
that
still live technically.
I did have that thought yesterday. Like,
Mhm.
ooh, I should have started late.
Yep. I sure
Mm.
did. I started late and then I forgot to that's the worst thing when you start late and then you forget to fast forward through the commercials. And it was like 9:50 and I was like, "Where are the women?" I got so scared. It's like 10 o'clock. I'm like, "Bayley and them didn't even come out." And then
A
I
3 minute
realized I was
mat?
like,
No, no.
I know, I know. And then I realized I was like, "Oh, girl, you 30 minutes behind because you ain't been you haven't
Yeah,
fast."
yeah. I don't know the actual timing of like when I was watching it. I want to say like 9:45 Eastern time
Yeah,
is when they
yeah.
came on, which
Mhm.
like isn't a ton of time. Whatever they did. By the way, speaking of that, and I know we'll get to
We'll
talking about
we're
that.
not talking
I know we'll talk about that, but I will say they did make some comment when the match went on that they're like, if this goes past, I swear. Oh wait, no. Sorry, I'm thinking of the Willow and Rio match. I think
Oh, yes, because
because
that
they
one
did
went
say,
really long. That one I saw live,
yeah,
and I was like, "Dog, it's 10:15 and the match is still happening, and Mercedes hasn't came out." But
yeah. Look at
what
the
did they say?
women's.
What did they
Look at
say?
these women's ending the show. They were just like, we'll stick with this match until it ends, even if it goes past the hour. I don't know
Oh, perfect.
the
Okay,
timing. That's what
because I
they
didn't
said for
see that,
the I think that I was thinking of the
but I
Rio Willow
saw it.
match, but
Mhm.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm glad that we had women closing the but like the Rio Willow match, it felt like they knew like, oh, a lot of eyes are on us right now. Eyes that would not be on here. Women
yeah,
aren't given the spot to main event often in AEW. That should change. And so I
but
just love that
but
they like
also
showed out.
But
Please.
also, when they do that runoff, like that 10 to 15-minute runoff, that's also for ratings too. That's why Raw used to always have that built-in 10 to 15
Yeah,
minute
I remember
runoff
that.
so that
Mhm.
they could judge that segment a little bit better. So
I wanna say back in the day, now we're on a tangent, but back in the day,
we
they
gotta
used to
go.
specifically do, like, 8 minutes over. I feel like it was, like,
Yeah,
11:08 PM, right?
yeah.
It was specifically
It was
8 minutes.
specifically, yeah, it was.
That was wild.
They always built it in.
Mari,
And
we have to keep
I like
moving.
that.
We can't keep talking about this. We could keep talking about it. I
We
knew
almost did that.
it would take almost
You
30
did say
minutes.
it.
Look at
You did.
that.
You
Yeah.
called it. All
God.
right. So, that's it for the big news, the big news, the biggest
The big
news and the big
business.
business. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you haven't already, please go subscribe to our podcast feed by going to robhasawebsite.com/wrestling feed in order to subscribe. Again, like I said, also you should be watching our beautiful faces here on our new YouTube channel. YouTube.com/@ make sure you put that at Wrestling RHAPup. Okay. And let's just get right into it. Let's get into the highlights of the week. So this week, the WrestleMania card is filling out really nicely. So we are going to focus on all of the new announced matches from this week. We will not be talking about the main storylines, even though there is some interesting stuff that happened with like Cody and the Rock concert
we
in
can't
Nashville.
no, we can't talk about that. We can't talk about those people again
About
this
it
week.
all,
Sorry.
yeah. If you're wondering our
Too
thoughts,
much.
we dedicated a whole episode to it last week. So if you haven't checked that
Mhm.
out, go to last week and we talked about the whole Cody, Seth, Bloodline, Rock of it all. So
Mhm.
this week we'll be focusing on like the undercard of Mania because we got a lot. I'm so glad that we finally I am so glad that we finally know what the undercard is going to look like.
Mhm.
And there were some good matches announced. There's some matches where I'm like, hey, it's not for me. So
Uh-oh. I
let's
don't know what okay, well, I know you enough to know, like, I think I don't know off the top of my head what you're talking about with
uh-huh.
what you like and what you don't like, but
Okay.
let's start.
Let's start with something I do like. And when I think we
Okay.
talked about it a few episodes ago, it was announced that Judgment Day will be defending their undisputed tag team championships in a 6-pack ladder match. And I am so excited. I think we talked about this with the championship culture guys. Like we hadn't had a ladder match at WrestleMania in what feels like forever. I am a freaking sucker for a ladder match.
Yeah.
Like I love ladder matches.
I love a 6-way ladder match, and
Yes.
I'm sure that we probably at some point mentioned that type of ladder match at Mania.
Yep.
But a
Tag team.
12-person match,
This
a
it's gonna be a
6-pack tag
train
team
wreck.
ladder match?
It's gonna be a
What?
train wreck. That's so
I'm
many
so
teams.
confused.
That's so many teams. And so I was talking to James about this last night because on
Mhm.
SmackDown they had like a tournament to
Yeah.
see who would get a few of the spots. The tournament was a short 4-team tournament. And I'm like, in this tournament, it's just to get to one of those spots. I'm like, how many tag teams do we have in the WWE that we can be doing these mini
Mm.
tournaments to get to 6 to fill out the card?
You better
But
call up the Dudleys and Edge and Christian and and Matt and Jeff, bless Jeff's nose or whatever he
yeah,
broke.
but
But,
you know
ugh,
what? They did a good job on that promo package. We got Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce announcing this, and they did do a good job of like doing like a package of tag teams. I was like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So
yeah.
they might have enough people. A 6-pack ladder match challenge is. I can't wait. I'm sorry, Matt. I don't mean to interrupt you. What do you
No,
think?
no, you didn't interrupt me. You didn't
Yeah,
interrupt me. I'm just, like, starting to imagine a little. Oh, man, it's gonna be
we're gonna
so
see that
great.
in person. Yeah, I know. I'm so excited.
I'm assuming we'll get that in person. Is it officially night
Oh
1?
shit. Yeah, we don't know if it's night
I
1.
mean, it's fine. It's fine. I don't wanna get too attached to any matches until I
Yeah,
know what nights they're gonna be, but
that's true. I
anyway,
forgot.
I am pumped for this, and I do like what you mentioned. I don't think I wrapped my head around fully what was happening on SmackDown in terms of the qualifier. I'm assuming they might have, like, a last chance battle royal, tag team battle royal to determine, like, the last spot eventually. I don't know how
I
they're
don't
gonna
know
get to
what
the
they're gonna
5
do.
teams.
Yeah, we don't know
But
yet. They basically just announced it. We had 2 matches to get down to 2 teams, and
mhm.
then we'll know more.
But let's stick to the
There's still weeks.
possibilities because
Uh-huh.
we could have like I'm not gonna let's not speculate on this because it would just be too wild, but like a legend team, they could
That would be
bring back a
fun.
team. They could
Mhm.
have like an NXT team in here.
That's what I
They
was
could have
wondering, if
there's a
they'll have
lot
the
that they could
NXT
do.
teams.
There's a
Yeah.
lot that they could do. I can't wrap my head around who will be in this match though.
I
Even if
can't.
you said
I
to me it
know.
was 5 teams just like flat out without the qualifiers and all, I can't.
Yeah. Like, so, in the promo, in the video, that Pierce and Aldis, announced it, they showed Miz and R-Truth, which they are currently, like, in a mini feud with the Judgment Day, so I think I would
Mhm.
be shocked if they don't make it. They
Yeah,
showed the Street Profits who are, like, always
yeah.
normally in the mix, so I wouldn't
Mhm.
I don't I wouldn't under I wouldn't see them missing it right now in the tournament. The Legado del Fantasma has moved on. Was it Legado or was it LWO? I wasn't paying attention, I'm not gonna lie. So one of them has moved forward to the
It
next
was I'm
round.
pretty sure it was Legato, right?
Was it Legato? I can't remember. I think I tuned out because I just
I
assumed
did
it would be
too.
Legato. You know
I
what I'm
did
saying?
too. But I did see no,
Like,
it was
yeah.
because they who were they facing?
They're facing LWO. It was LWO versus Legado del Fantasma
Dear
for the
Lord. And then it got confusing
and
because they were fighting each
their
other
colors,
after.
yeah, they're fighting each other
They
after.
both
Their
have the
colors are so
Mexican flag
similar.
colors.
It was like, I was like, oh my god, I don't. This is not us being inappropriate. They really just all, they all had like the same colored gear and stuff. Um,
Literally. But no, I'm pulling up our official results, Mari, to
oh yeah, there
because
you
it
go.
but yeah, no, it was I that was actually one of the points in the show where I was like not
Yeah,
super
fast
tuned
forward. Yeah,
in.
I know. I wasn't either.
I
I
wasn't
think I was on
fast
the
forwarding,
phone.
but I was
Like, yeah,
definitely multitasking and ready
yeah,
for Dakota and Bayley because
same.
I'm
But
basic like that.
at least one of them, and I think it's New Catch Republic, so Dunn and Bates. So one of those
Wait,
two teams
hold
is gonna
on.
be, yeah,
Okay, yes, Legato did beat LWO, like we
okay.
said.
Like we
We
said,
did
yeah.
think it. We were just confirming our facts.
Yep.
But then later in the show, what I was actually thinking of was Santos beat Dragon Lee,
Yes,
and
and
then Rey
yeah.
Mysterio came out.
Then yeah, Rey Mysterio, and then Carlito came out at one point too, I
Why
think
are
in
these
the
people fighting so
pre-match.
much? It's
I
just
don't
too much.
know. But it
Just
is,
can't we all get
yeah,
along?
they are doing some good work, but it's just
Yeah,
like,
no, it's great.
yeah. But so in the entrance package, they also had like Gargano and Ciampa.
Right.
Uh, so the Creed brothers. I
Oh
forgot
my
about
god.
Indus Genders people.
No, but also you haven't
New
mentioned
Day.
you mentioned the Prophets,
Yep, Profits.
but also God, they have been feuding with
Oh yeah,
Paul Ellering's
AOP.
group,
Yeah,
AOP. Oh my god, you think AOP would be in there? Yeah,
man.
AOP
And
could be
then
in there.
Alpha Academy, because we'll talk about that. Um,
Shoosh,
yeah, shush,
please.
please.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so there are a lot of really great
There are a
teams
lot. Hmm.
and some
You forget because they
underrated.
don't get used. Exactly. So I'm
Well,
so glad that they're
they
doing that.
don't get used, but also at the same time, they do get used a lot more than they did 2 years ago, a year ago. Like we actually 3 years ago. We have a tag team division right now, which is like really nice. And they are legit teams. Like it doesn't feel like it's thrown together. It
Right.
does feel like there's some effort there. And you know what? Like naturally, The Rock and the big storylines and the stuff that we love draw our attention away. But like you said, like New Day's been there, they're around, they're doing things.
And
You
again,
know,
I'm
oh,
hyped for this. And we're pointing out that I think the problem is there's lots of teams, there's two brands, but there's an undisputed tag team championships. The Judgment Day have just been holding on to two belts, not doing much with them. And I think that's the problem. So there's been a lot of online speculation that they might have, it's still two belts, still the red and the blue. They'll have two belts hanging up. And what
uh-uh.
if two different teams grab a belt and we de-unify these joints? Matt, Matt, if that
I
happens, do you understand how excited I will be?
I understand. I do.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
appreciate it and I think it should happen. I think it should
I would be
happen.
so
I
excited.
would love to see it. Then we just go back to I mean, the thing I love about this is that it's going to give a platform to all of these tag teams at Mania. And I'm sure maybe even lead into some storylines post Mania between teams. And you could have that happening on each of the brands with their own freaking championships. I love that.
Mhm.
I'm ready for it.
I want that so badly. If anything, this is proven there's way more than enough tag teams to do it. And like I'm very excited for this match. Like I said, I'm very excited. We'll see. We'll keep you posted as it fills out, as we get like actual, because we still don't have any other person announced for this match other than Judgment Day. We had a first round of a tournament, but there's still nobody else announced. So I'm pretty sure we'll come back to it in about maybe 2 weeks or so, and
Sure.
we'll have more info on that.
Yeah, I just want one more thing I want to bring up though, Mari. Just because we're here, it did cross my mind earlier, and legend teams, right? Are we kind of past the like it's 2024? Are there any legend teams that you could see being here? Because like we're not going to get like it's not the Hardys, Dudleys, Edge, like we're not getting any of
Right,
that.
we're not getting
That's
any of
going a
that.
little too far back, and most of them are signed with AEW. So I don't know. I just should we be
I I
anticipating?
I would not anticipate a Legends team, only because, like you said, all like really notable Legends teams are somewhere else. Like if they're
Oh,
not
the
with
Spirit
WWE.
Squad. They were good back in the day. They did the cheerleading.
But
There was
Dolph slash Nick Namath is over in
no, they were like
TNA or something
5
like
of
that.
them though. Just
Yeah,
hit
but
a couple of the
it
others.
it was normally like what,
DX.
like Kenny and no, I don't know. Stop it. I don't think we need any classic teams here, because
No,
we have so many regular teams, and then you have, like we said, NXT. So
low key, I think you kind of really can't think of too many legend teams that would go here,
I
or
know
any, because they haven't really focused on
they haven't.
tag teams for the better part of 15 years.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
true. I mean, because to me, the most legendary teams from the past decade are either still here in WWE, or like I'm thinking like your New Days and your Usos. Can't do the Usos. New Day will more than likely. I cannot see them not being in that match.
I mean, yeah, they really should be in it, but I could see them not being in it in a world where, what's the list I was just writing down? In a world where the Prophets are in it, where Miz and R-Truth, Gargano and Ciampa, the Creed brothers, AOP, like there's so many options, but that's the
true.
fun thing about it. Like we don't know who's gonna be in it, so
Yeah,
we'll find
exactly.
out. We'll all find out together.
Yeah. So very exciting, though.
Mhm.
I really am excited. Gunther officially has his opponent for WrestleMania. I think we talked about the Gauntlet match last week. We were like, we didn't see this outcome coming. Sami Zayn runs the Gauntlet and wins, and is facing Gunther. Matt, how do you feel about this?
Oh no, I don't like the tone that you had in asking me that. I feel good about it. I feel like when if we talked about the Gauntlet last week, it's been so long since last week's episode. We the thing for me was that the group of people just felt kind of random and off, but Chad Gable stood out for sure. I know that he was the standout for everybody going into that. But you know, I think that if they were going to have Sami win, my one critique for the Gauntlet is like have him start the Gauntlet match and really just remind people why everyone loves Sami so much. I do feel like the fans are fickle and, just are over it. But like, I'm happy about it. It's going to be an amazing match.
I am a little upset. I'm not gonna lie, because why would you put
I get it.
Why would you put Chad Gable 6th? Have him and Sami put on that amazing match, and then don't give the spot to Gable when Gable and Gunther had been feuding for the better part of like 3 months last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand that. And Sami, it's just like it's gonna be a good match, but didn't Sami just come back at the Rumble? I believe. Like, wasn't he? I feel like he was gone or something. Like it. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like Sami is Sami, so people love Sami. They love rooting for him and stuff like that. But to me, this is the first time him and Gunther cross paths, right?
Yeah.
They didn't
I'm
even have a
okay with it.
moment in the Rumble or anything like that.
Yeah, I
You know
don't
what I'm
mind
saying?
it. I don't mind it because I know we're gonna get the Gable Gunther match, especially after this. Like, we're gonna get it at some point. I hear you. I know it's
So,
WrestleMania.
mhm.
It's kind of a bummer, but like, I'm okay with them not giving us everything we want
So
right
to
now.
me, it's like, so is Gunther retaining here? Because I for sure thought Gunther would be losing.
Oh no, he's retaining.
So
He's retaining.
that's the only thing I can think of. It's like you put him against Sami, and that's the unfortunate thing about Sami is, the draw, and the thing is like he can take a loss while also, still maintaining his. But I just feel like there's no. I feel like I don't know anything about Sami since he came back, other than he kept facing off against Big Bronson Reed for no reason.
Okay, but now I'm really interested in, okay, how do they make us believe? How does Sami make us believe? Do they give that space and time to truly remind us of how great Sami Zayn is? Like, I don't know, but
I mean,
I'm with
Gunther's a
you that
great heel,
they're
so
currently lacking, but can they make up for it is kind of my question. That's the thing I'm hoping for, that they can.
yeah. I mean, I'm a huge Sami Zayn fan, like huge. So it is unfortunate that you're putting me in a position where I'm like, this isn't the match I truly wanted to really see, to be quite honest. So,
Yeah, and you know what? Like, everything you're saying is valid,
mhm.
and I do also hear the criticisms. What, everyone turned on Sammy? Like, you don't want him to win, but you
They
wanted him at Mania
Yeah.
Well,
He
but
got booed, I think.
it's
I
a
think he got
different
booed.
storyline. It's a different,
Yeah.
like, they've been pushing the story to set us up for being happy about Sammy. So I don't think anyone should have been shocked by that reaction. And I would almost guess that maybe they would have expected that reaction to Sammy winning. So, I mean, it's
Uh,
cool. It's fine. It'll be a great
yes.
match, of course, but the build and the fact that this is the match rather than Gable, not great. I wish Gable had his WrestleMania moment, like, just to take him to the next level, but
Mhm.
you know, it is how it is, right? Sammy's not even
Yeah.
why it's not even a situation where you're putting him in because he's such a draw. Like, you don't need to do it. You don't need to.
Yeah, and that's what I'm just trying to figure out. I'm like, why is he getting this spot, other than, I mean, he deserves to be on the card and stuff like that. But it just, like, Gunther was feuding with Jey Uso just 2 seconds ago. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like,
Yeah, but I just want to also say, like, everyone talks about
oh,
who's deserving of what. Like, nobody it's a scripted show, and there are so many people that are deserving that, like,
yeah.
you just can't fit everyone in, unfortunately. I'm with you. Happy about the match that we'll get. I'm sure it'll be great. I do wish it was Gable, though.
And I just realized I totally forgot.
Uh-oh.
Gunther was supposed to face Brock Lesnar. That's what it was.
Sammy is a lot like Brock Lesnar,
Wait,
all
what?
the similarities, like, big, strong,
Oh,
muscular,
Matt, please don't. Like,
beastly.
people take things out of content too much.
No, I was gonna say, thankfully they're very different. One's actually a good human.
Yes, a
Sammy.
great human.
Sammy.
Yes, Sami. Yes,
Uh-huh.
they
Ugh.
did. they did make it like a matter of fact of like during the Gauntlet, they're like Sami is Muslim and it's the first night of Ramadan, so he is. Did I say that right? Oh my god!
No, you did. You did.
Okay,
I
you
laughed.
scared
I
me.
did. No, I laughed. I laughed because I caught that, and I only thought it was
Yeah,
funny because I'm like, now we're gonna
they're,
acknowledge this. Now
I
we
know
are.
at
But
this
also,
moment.
I'm like, I don't know. Like,
They
I
were
would
like,
love to.
he hasn't eaten all day, and I was like, oh no, like I
Yeah,
got why they did it. Yeah,
that is good, and that's real. That's very
yeah.
real.
Mhm.
But when they mentioned it, I thought that they were going for like the he has the extra motivation to do it today, which I feel like
No, they were like, he's so weak.
yeah,
Like,
he's a pro. He's a pro, and I love that. I wish they could
yeah,
like more consistently like just lean into who he is, and because
yeah.
he's so awesome,
He's
like, and
such
he's
an
so
amazing person.
vocal.
Yeah.
He's a great advocate.
Yeah.
Um,
So I now that I'm the reason why I brought up the Brock Lesnar thing and I remember it's like, oh right, they were going to build Brock versus Gunther and they can't do that. So now they're just trying to figure out a plan B. So that's why they're kind of scrambling. So
mhm,
it's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be a good match. I wish there was just some more heat going into
yeah.
the match at WrestleMania, but it's fine. It's kind of like it's not kind of like last year because I think they did build the Gunther, Drew, and Sheamus of it all, but you weren't expecting that match to like steal the show, and this match could definitely steal the show because again, one of my favorite matches of all time is Sami versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Shinsuke's debut in Dallas. So
Hmm.
okay, let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back to talk about the rest of the highlights of the week. Okay, we're halfway through the highlights of the
Uh-huh.
week, and
We are.
you can watch these highlights of the week on our handy dandy playlist that you can find in our show notes or show description. Yeah, I forgot to plug that at the beginning, but
That's cool. It is. It is
it's
what
all
it
right.
is. There's highlights of the
Hopefully,
week.
hopefully y'all know that we do this every week. This is what we do.
Yeah, we're here.
Um, we're always here. So finally, Jey Uso has had enough. Matt,
Oh
we talked about
no.
this last week, and it is now officially official.
Ooh.
Jay challenged Jimmy. Jimmy accepted his challenge, and we are officially getting Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso at WrestleMania. I am very excited about this. I think this is time. I can't wait to see what happens. Like, this is one of those matches that you could do some really good in-ring storytelling with. You know what I'm saying? Like, really play up the fact that they're twins and they're going for the same moves or something like that. Oh, they know each other the best, like
I wish you
I'm
just
so
would have
excited.
stopped that at like they know each other. They know
Yeah,
each other.
they know each other.
They know each other. I think it's gonna be great. I mean,
Is it tribal combat?
I don't know. This is
That
a
just might be the
janky
graphic.
ass
Yeah,
graphic.
it is.
You can barely see the tribal combat part. But yeah, no, it is like exciting. I'm pumped
Ooh.
for it. It's gonna be a great match. Will it be night 1 or night 2? Who
Who
knows?
knows? Yeah.
I'm not
I
ready.
would
What? What
I'm
do you
trying to
think?
think. I would
I want to say
assume
it's
it'd be
night
night
2.
1.
I don't know.
No, well, I guess it depends on if they
Oh,
because of the
tribal
stipulation. Yeah.
rules or
Yeah.
bloodline rules,
Bloodline rules.
not tribal rules.
I don't know, man.
Remember that match that they had back in the day with the Nigerian drums?
Yeah,
That's
I
just wanted to
remember.
bring that up.
Yeah, I mean, what's more to say than like this has been building for over a year now. Um,
I mean, since their
I'm
birth.
so happy for them. Well, yeah, probably.
Mhm.
I'm so happy for them that they're getting this spotlight to tell this story. This has to feel like the ultimate. Like this has to be I would assume that this would feel better than fighting for a title. Like fighting against your twin brother on the biggest stage of them all, where everybody is invested in the storyline. Jey Uso comes out and he got the crowd yelling "Yeet," which is great for him. But you know how I feel about that. And we'll talk about that a little bit more later.
Oh, okay, we will.
Yeah, we will.
Okay, great.
So like I'm super excited for them, especially again, like we talked about last week. I don't want to rehash it, but these were two twins, two performers who have been putting like the tag team division on their backs and weren't even making it onto the WrestleMania card. You know what I'm saying? Like every time WrestleMania season would come around, they would somehow find themselves either on the pre-show or not there at all. So yeah, I'm just happy for them. Any final thoughts about those shows?
Look, Mari, I love the Usos. I love them against each other. I just feel like the one thing for me about their feud that has thrown me off. I mean, well, the Bloodline's been so core to their feud, but at the same time, sometimes they've been at the center of the Bloodline action. Like now they're not.
They're not.
But
it's still
so
been
weird.
prevalent.
Yeah, because like the Bloodline story is still a huge part of it, obviously. But I do think it's just interesting how, like, even with Sam, we were just talking about Sami before, like the way that the story shift from a year ago to now is so fascinating. And yet the story has been going on as long as the Bloodline story, as long as they've been tag team partners together. I do love this version of them in Splitsville, because like they're just so established individually. It's not like that old-fashioned thing we used to see, and we even saw with the Usos. I think we saw with the Usos, I'm sure, where they like kind of broke up or split when they were
remember.
like, or I don't know. I feel like they do with every team. Like I know the Bellas did it at one point.
Yeah, the
Usos, the Dudleys, the Hardys, like that. Vince redacted, I should say, loves that. Like he loved doing that to these teams. So I love this version of them, and they're the most evolved, like the most skilled. They're veterans now. It's gonna be great.
Exactly. Feel like they've not been in the forefront, but like you gotta think Jimmy cost Jade the titles at SummerSlam, and then continued. Like Jay got so frustrated that he was like, take me off of this brand and send me to another brand. I think it was genius to separate them the way that they did so that it wouldn't get stale.
I
and
agree.
Jimmy still found a way to stick his nose in Jay's business every chance he got. So the story might sound like the story might feel like it's in the background, but the fact that it's been steady and slowly building and makes logical sense is so amazing. And it's just not their fault that The Rock is back now. And so everything about that kind of makes everything around it feel a little bit less highlighted. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think it's still been great, and can't wait to see what they do at WrestleMania. And next up, Bayley wanted revenge on Dakota, but the number game was just too strong. We kind of touched on this last week. We kind of talked about it in passing, but last week Bayley got the break speed off of her by Damage Control. And she challenged Dakota Kai to a match, a one-on-one match today, for tonight, which was last night for SmackDown. Yeah, so she could get her revenge on her. Right. But last week, Naomi, we saw the clip of Naomi and Bianca in the background. Like Naomi's like, I know how Bayley must feel having those people like turn on you. And Bianca's like, girl, I don't care.
Bianca is like, girl, like her catchphrase, girl, and so look, and I think that's so real.
Me too. Bianca literally got beat up. She got beat up by Damage Control for over a year and a half. Why do you think she would run out to help Bayley? It makes absolutely no sense.
She wants to stay as far from these people as possible. They tried to ruin her life in every way possible. Like,
exactly.
They
debuted against her, like beating her up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know why Naomi is so pressed to help. Like, come on.
Well, like they said, Naomi wasn't there.
She wasn't there, but she had the TV.
But Naomi was referencing Team Bad when she said, I know how it feels to be in a group, have people have your back, and then it turned. I mean, Naomi was the one who turned off Sasha, but that's okay. We're not.
So I was gonna say I wasn't sure exactly what she was
Yeah.
referencing because I'm like, who turned on you?
Yeah,
What?
nobody.
Mm.
But it was great. It was great, and I loved it because again, it makes sense. Naomi wasn't here. And then it also ties into all of the backstage stuff that we know, like Bayley and Sasha would come to Naomi's stuff, like we said, Naomi and Bayley going to Mercedes stuff, and it's like we know that they have a real friendship outside of it. So it just all ties in, and it's amazing, and I loved it. So the moment that Naomi came out to help save Bayley, I was like,
yeah, but the fact that I mean, okay, I loved that.
So
Right.
excited.
I loved that. I have to also say I did not mentally put 2 and 2 together, like that
What do
they
you
were
mean?
like literally we were just talking about the fact that
Oh, you did
Naomi Bayley.
it?
I did not like
Yeah,
mentally
mentally.
like, oh yeah, it makes sense that they're together. Like it's amazing. Throw Tamina in there too. Why not? Why not?
Right. So well,
Bring her back.
that's what I was gonna say.
There's
Is
something
Tamina
weird with
active?
Tamina.
Was she
I
because
was
she won
watching
was she at the Rumble? She won at the
No,
Rumble, right?
but
No,
I
yeah.
was watching an interview back in like January with Nia Jax. I don't know why I'm suddenly kind of
Whispering.
whispering,
Yeah.
but I was watching an interview and Nia made some comment like, "Oh yeah, I'm like I don't know if she said she missed Tamina or what, but
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe Tamina like quietly
So
retired. I don't
right.
freaking know."
I think she from what I understand, she might be in the back, like helping, still in the back, like helping the girls, but I don't know if she's like actually wrestling. So I don't know.
I
But
don't
the best
either way.
thing about this, yes, the best thing about this is Naomi's getting involved, and she gets involved, she gets some really good hits in, but
A
damage
few.
control still take her out. It's still 4v2 at this point.
Side note, let me just put this out there. Naomi has an issue. Her issue is that her run-in offense, it just is too involved. She needs to have some quicker hit. Like, just hit
Like,
and
come
run,
on.
girl. You're doing too much. Like, we just bam,
But
bam,
it's
bam.
so
Like, learn from
good.
Mercedes. Just hit an elbow and keep going. Like, you don't need to do like the put their head between your legs.
That was so cool. A spike DDT.
I love it. Yeah,
How
and
cool was that?
straight from. I
On the
know she used
apron
that in Impact
with
a
her
lot.
thighs.
Those
Oh my
thighs.
god.
Well, then just like smack these people with your thighs and keep running.
That's what she did.
Well, clearly, okay.
It
The
was so
numbers game
good.
though.
The
The
numbers
numbers
game.
aren't right, but she
Yeah,
tried. She
she
tried,
did.
and a great chance to showcase her great theme song. Glow,
Yeah.
glow, glow. Woo!
Global. I need a global shirt so bad. I need
Hey,
that shirt.
get it.
I need it. Yeah, so like it was great. She got a few good hits in, but 4v2, which means we need it. We need it.
Who?
I mean logical sense, Jade, because Jade did do a stare down between Damage Control a few weeks back,
Uh-oh.
right?
Yeah.
So Jade might be next. And Jade wasn't here. She hasn't had to tussle with Damage Control. She just said in that backstage segment, she was like, I don't like that. I don't like that. Y'all shiesty for that, basically.
Yeah.
So maybe Jade comes out and help next week. Next week we get Bayley and Naomi versus Kabuki Warriors, right? Match. Damage Control jumps in. Jade comes out. Helps. Numbers game. Still not with us.
Wait, I'm
It's still
struggling with
4-3.
Speaking of numbers, I am struggling with the math.
Why are you struggling
Because
with the
here's why. So we have Bayley and Io. They'll be facing each other at Mania.
Exactly.
Then do we have Naomi? Are you saying like maybe Naomi and Jade versus the Kabuki Warriors at Mania? Like, what are we gonna do?
I'm thinking because I don't think the titles will be on the line in WrestleMania. We're too close to it to build to that. So and then you have to have a draw for after Mania. So
Mm.
I'm thinking what we're looking at is probably um they finally convinced Bianca to come on side, you know? It's like come and help us. And we get Naomi, Jade, and Bianca versus Damage Control. Versus the Kabuki Warriors and Dakota Kai at WrestleMania. So that Bayley and Io can go one-on-one.
They really do love to put them in 3-on-3 because last
Three
year
on
was
threes, they do.
Lita and Trish and
Lita,
Becky.
Trish, and Becky. Yeah. People are convinced that this is gonna lead to a Bianca heel turn, which I'm like, why would that make sense?
No.
We are staring at 4 heels in this division already.
Yeah.
Why like people are like they're saying like people were mad. They're like, where's Bianca? They were, the crowd was chanting
Yeah.
for Bianca to come out because I mean they're in Tennessee, but also
Mhm.
like why would people want to see Bianca. I don't know why she was not there, but a strong guess is that we want to send our condolences to Angelo Dawkins. His mother passed away this week,
Mm,
so that's her brother. That's basically her family. That not blood, but
yeah.
um, it could be that they're all together mourning that. But Bianca wasn't on the show this week. And so
Yeah.
I also like that because she wasn't there. So even more fact that she didn't need to run in.
It does make me
Um,
wonder, oof, Bianca, what are you doing at Mania? We need to know.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I think she'll be I think that's why it might be that 3-on-3
I
at
know.
Mania.
I need to know
Yeah,
now. I need
that'd
to
be
know
great.
now. I
I
really want to
know.
know now. And
I do too.
but Mari, Naomi, Jade, and Bianca on the same team?
I would
How are we doing
explode.
it? How
If that's not on night
am
1,
I gonna cry?
I might have
What?
to
How
like
is that possible? A year, Mari, a year almost, okay, not a year ago, but I'll say a year, almost a year
2
ago,
years ago.
almost a
Yeah.
year ago, Naomi was in Impact. She just
Yeah,
got to Impact. Jade was in AEW.
exactly.
Bianca was in WWE.
She was the only black woman in on WWE's main roster.
Wow.
Minus Mia Yim. Yeah,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
but
Mhm.
also Mia Yim was
Y
barely being featured on
yeah,
WWE's main
exactly.
roster too. So
Right.
there's
Yeah.
that. But ugh, I'm
Now if
ready.
we
My
if we
body is
get
ready.
my body is ready. If we get Team Black Girl Magic against Damage Control, I will lose my effing shit.
I will
Like,
too, and I also have to say, I just feel like I just want more. I just want
I know.
bring back Mercedes too. Come on, let's do
Um,
that.
I'm
Just bring
fine
her
with
in.
I'm okay with Mercedes being over there in AEW, collecting her coins,
Sure,
collecting her matches. She just got there, so
a lot of
let's not.
coin.
I'm fine. I'm fine with her not rushing back to WWE. Like
Open
I'm
the
truly
forbidden door. Open the forbidden freaking door
you
and just
cowards.
let her. Yeah, cowards. What are you waiting for? She's not going to do anything wrong. Like, it'll just be entertainment,
I'm
money for everybody. Let's do it. No,
I'm
I
just
think that
glad we get what we're getting.
what
But
we have is more than adequate. It
mhm.
is perfect, if you
But
ask
we
me.
could honestly, I
If
mean,
we get
they have been saying that maybe they're building for Bianca versus Tiffany Stratton. So maybe it could just be
hmm.
Jade and Naomi versus the Kabuki Warriors or something
I
like
mean,
that. But
they haven't been building it like that.
they haven't. Like that's the
It was just
thing. Like it's
it was like 2
it's yeah,
weeks.
it's like I don't know if this is maybe it's just dirt sheet stuff, but it's like
Yeah.
they've been building Tiffany Stratton up as in she is she's a fifth heel on that roster and she's been beating all of the good guys, including Naomi,
But
including
she's so loved
Zelina and all of
too.
that.
She's bare like
Um,
she's a she is a heel. She's a heel in terms of what she could execute, but people
well, her
just love
character is
her.
a heel.
People love
Mhm.
her. People have been
People do,
cheering
yeah.
her. Like, so
So
I mean, like I
I'm
would leave her off of I mean, maybe put her in some kind of match on Mania, but I would not try to build something like that for her because
me
she is
neither.
so new and there's so much potential for her. Like, you don't need to rush her into Mania.
I agree. I completely agree. So we don't know, but I loved every second of this. I love like Bayley kind of getting her comeuppance, but then people also trying to be like, but maybe we should help her out, you know. I can't wait to see where that goes. And like I said, we'll probably find out in about 2 weeks. My thought process, I'm telling you, Matt, and the listeners, my thought process for next week is maybe just doing like some of the off script storytelling. Like there's a lot of stuff happening in WWE right now that is very interesting, but it has absolutely nothing to do with WrestleMania. So I've been leaving it off. So maybe next week we just do the off stories, you know, or something like that.
Maybe. Yeah, we could do that. I like it.
Yeah.
Planning on the pod.
Yes, there you go. That's like, okay, how dare you?
I was like, okay, let's just keep going. Sure, I'll agree. Let's go. Well, like, actually, we could do this. Da-da-da. You got me.
I mean, no, it's just my thought process. We still have technically like 3 more weeks, you know, of content we have to come up with.
I think we're on the same page. Like, we don't need to talk about the same thing 3 weeks
over and over and over. Yeah, exactly. And then all of that just to culminate in our WrestleMania preview show, which we're going to talk about all this stuff again. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So LA Knight gets a little bit more than he bargained for when he challenges AJ Styles to a match at WrestleMania. So this is where I'm like, it's not for me, but it's okay. I get it. Honestly, we've been talking about this. I get LA Knight's draw. I get why everybody likes him. But is this satisfying to y'all? Like, I really kind of want to hear from LA Knight fans. Like, this AJ Styles feud, this LA Knight AJ Styles feud, it's a proper feud. They've been building it for months. So, I mean, I feel like,
Mari, why are we always doing this? We always do this. We literally always do this with LA Knight. Every damn time. We are like, oh, I mean, mostly it's been me. But it's like, oh, it's not for me, but like, I get that it's a big deal. I get that people love it, blah, blah, blah. But why?
I mean,
why?
It's just not for me. Like, that's why I want to know from LA.
Why is it for us? Because he's never been for me.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I just like more other people on the roster. Like, it's not that I don't like him. I like how engaged he gets the audience and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And technically, I don't know if he's the weak link here in this storyline. Honestly,
No.
to me, it's AJ Styles. Like, I really don't care to see him go up against AJ Styles. I really thought that LA Knight would have been penciled in for like a Logan Paul feud for a title or an IC title. You know, I thought he would be penciled in somewhere else. So him versus this AJ Styles thing, it's just kind of like, I still don't know why they're mad. If I remember correctly, they're mad at each other because they kept getting in each other's ways to get to the titles and stuff like that.
Yeah, but when you just want to like get away from each other.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, so I don't know. I think he'll get the win here. I think his fans are glad that he's on the card. Like, that's my biggest thing. I think he should just be glad he's on the card at this point. He's lucky that he gets one of these spots. The men always get these spots where they get to put random feuds on the card while the women are just stuck in the title programs.
I mean, this is what happens when you have like such a like star heavy card. Or not star heavy card, you have such a star heavy roster where you have Sami Zayn. He is, I mean, I don't think he's as hot right now as a Chad Gable, but he's a big star. He's a bigger star. I'm sure Sammy's sold more merch than Gable. That's just the way it is, you know, with the pushes they've given. So they put Sami there. With this, I feel like AJ is in that spot where he's such a big star, but he's not really hot. They haven't really done
he's done this slow heel turn over the past few months,
which I appreciate that rather than
they're building this. This is built, so I can't complain about that. It's not like they literally just plopped it on the card. They have been building this storyline for months, so but it's just not a storyline I'm invested in.
Yeah, I mean, I think
That's
that
fine.
like we've talked about before, like the LA Knight versus someone else we are going to talk about later, Logan Paul. Like to
Mhm.
me, that would have been a fun
That would have been
match.
pretty cool.
I would have loved that. As someone who's not
Yeah.
so interested in LA Knight, I just need him. Like I like him opposite of Logan Paul because he's just so easy. It's so easy to hate Logan Paul
Yeah.
and to have LA Knight be the hero and on the opposite end of him and Logan Paul's athleticism, which I mean, obviously AJ has endless athleticism and he's such a legend in his own right. But yeah, it's kind of funny. I don't
It
know.
is,
I wonder
yeah.
what we're picking up on with it, but whatever, maybe not for us yet.
Yeah.
Maybe they could turn us around. They probably won't, but it'll be a great
Yeah.
match, right?
Yeah. I think it's just one of those things. It's like you said, and like we've been saying, there's just too many people at the top of the card. It's just too many, you know?
And also it's the type of thing where when I'm looking at the graphic for LA Knight and AJ, like this is going to be one of those matches that comes on the show and we're going to be ready for it to end so that we could get to the other matches that we're more excited for. Like
Mhm.
that's just the reality of it.
We, us, maybe not
Us,
yeah.
us, just us. No, but I mean, yeah, I have nothing else for them.
Yeah. And watch it be on our night over there too.
I mean, it probably will.
Mhm.
Well, let's start a campaign to have them put it on night 2.
Night 2. All right. And finally for one of the last matches announced for WrestleMania this week. This one kind of confused me, I guess. I don't know.
Please explain.
It's a triple threat match for Logan Paul's US Championship. It'll be Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. So it makes sense, right? Because Logan Paul was beefing with Kevin Owens after that the title tournament, and where Logan Paul went on to beat KO. I can't remember if that was at, like, my memory is so shot. I don't know if it was at Royal Rumble or whatever.
At Royal Rumble, Logan Paul and KO had a match against
That's
each
what I
other.
mean. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what I mean. And then after that, the Randy Orton stuff is because Logan Paul interfered in Randy Orton, like, winning the Elimination Chamber. So, if I remember correctly. So,
Hope so.
like, this stuff goes in like one ear and out the other. Like,
I mean,
it's so hard to
yeah.
retain so much of this stuff. But
Yeah.
like, so he's been feuding on and off with Randy Orton. But Randy Orton, like I said a few weeks ago, Randy Orton's been so funny in this role where he's been fighting Grayson Waller and Austin Theory more. So I was kind of hoping that maybe it'd be like, but I guess a fatal 5-way might be too much. But I don't like that Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are left off here, because I think they've been carrying. I truly like Randy, being like the boomer who's had enough of these like millennials.
And the boomer who
It's
has
so
like a
funny
shot
to me.
neck and back, like, oh god.
Yeah, but also I'm gonna hit the most famous move on you and make the crowd pop. It is so funny to me. Like, I love this. Like, I think we talked about it, but I don't know if I included it in the highlights. But a few weeks ago, when Grayson Waller and Austin Theory were rewatching like Randy losing in the Elimination Chamber on their phones, and they were like, like high schoolboys like huddled over a phone, and then Randy Orton comes and he sees and he's like, "Oh, this is funny. All right, I'm gonna beat one of y'all up." I just think this character that Randy is doing is so funny. He's in such a great spot as like a veteran, where it doesn't feel like he's really taking anybody else's spot, and it feels like he's enhancing other talent. Like I said, I'm fully invested in Grayson Waller. Austin Theory, we all know my thoughts on him, but I think that I like his dynamic with them kind of more than I like his dynamic with Logan Paul. So when when all this came out, I was truly sitting there. I was like, I think it's going to be a fatal 5-way, but he only made it a triple threat.
Yeah, the thing with Logan Paul and Randy Orton, I think that it falls short with Randy a bit just even contrasting it with Logan Paul's interactions with KO, like Kevin Owens gives so much. The energy, the passion, the reactions, all of it. Randy Orton is just a little bit too stoic, where he doesn't really like
But that's what I
sell for
love
Logan
about
Paul.
it.
Randy doesn't sell
Mhm.
for Logan
The
Paul.
moves,
So that, well, not even the moves, just like any
the
of it.
promo.
He just does. It's like he's just
But
not
I think
pressed
that's
by Logan
the
Paul.
thing. That's the thing. It's like
I
the
guess
curmudgeon.
that's Randy's thing. But I
Yeah.
like that. I like that opposite of. So Logan Paul is like a little bit too serious for me for that to work so well. Like you said, I like that Randy
He's serious?
across from, I mean,
Oh, like a
compared with Austin,
goofier, yeah,
yeah,
I see what
like
you're saying.
compared with
Mhm.
Austin Theory
And
and
Grayson Waller.
Grayson Waller.
Yeah.
Like even that match, like I would have enjoyed heck, Randy Orton versus like handicap match. Do a handicap match at Mania. Randy versus Grayson Waller
Grayson and
and
Austin.
the other one, yeah.
Yeah.
That could have
Yeah,
been
it's like
good.
Tweedledee, Tweedledum type thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like
really fun.
literally, that
Mhm.
wouldn't even be like a burial for them. Like I think
Yeah.
it would make sense how they got to that. There's obviously the history,
'Cause
but
they
I don't
accidentally hit
know.
each other, right? Yeah, like,
Yeah.
Jason accidentally hit Austin Theory in the so, like, I
Mhm.
agree. Last week, Randy did KO, not KO, he did RKO
Mm.
KSI, there's too many letters, in the middle of the ring on the Prime logo, which was, again, hilarious.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks ago, I can't remember, but, like, I
Mm.
mean, I'm fine with it. It's gonna be a triple threat. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I guess Logan. I'm wondering if there's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot of retaining of titles on this WrestleMania. I'm having a feeling that there's gonna be a lot of retaining.
Are you hoping that Logan Paul retains?
No, I'm not, but,
Interesting.
like, putting it on either Randy or KO, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, because I like
does that
for
make
that.
sense?
Which is why
Right.
I am hoping that Logan Paul retains at Mania in this match.
Yeah,
Like,
like, it
what are
would
we
just kinda
doing?
make sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Giving
That's
it
what I
to
mean.
to your point, putting it on Randy Orton feels weird. I mean,
Feels
putting any
weird. He
championship
doesn't
on
need
him
it.
now feels weird. Like, he
Yeah.
doesn't need it. Um, yeah, and then
Yeah.
KO,
And KO is like KO is
he doesn't
Mr.
need it.
US Championship, to be quite honest. Yeah, he's won it so many times that at this point I want him to go for the big belts and stuff. So
Do you think that
yeah.
maybe just, like, talking through everything we've covered so far, I mean, I know that Triple H was like the big NXT guy and he had some people
Mhm.
that he really enjoyed, but we're getting Randy Orton and KO in that match with Logan Paul as opposed to like an LA Knight there. We're getting but we need to get LA Knight on the show. So we're
Mhm.
getting him versus AJ Styles. We get Sami Zayn on the show. Like I wonder if we're going to see a pattern of like going back to these older stars and like giving them spots. Because to
Mm.
me, like, we didn't have to do that. We could build newer stars here.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know, it
Yeah,
just feels like
it's a
also
great
very
point.
Vince McMahon-y.
These are Triple H's favorites. The
Yeah,
Randy, KO, Sammy, like these are
yeah.
his children basically. These are his sons. He's been a mentor to all of them, really.
Mhm.
Not a career mentor, and I'm not saying
No.
that. People calm down. But like when it comes to WWE, these are his favorite people. Like KO is like one of his favorite people. So like um it could be that. It could just be like um that when a title does switch hands, it just feels all the sweeter.
Mhm.
Um, it could be they just need a steady hand for this WrestleMania. They just want to do something entertaining for the fans. It is the biggest
Mhm.
one. But I'm
Yeah.
not mad. I'm not mad at any of this. It's just I'm not compelled by a lot of it. I'm compelled by some of the bigger stories, but I'm not compelled by some of these smaller stories. But at the end
Yeah.
of the day, I think we're still gonna get good matches, and I guess that's what truly matters, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. One person, and I know it's random, I'm just gonna drop it in here. I kind of wish Ricochet were in this match.
Yeah, like Ricochet was in the
Gauntlet,
the
opening it.
Gauntlet. Yeah, he opened it. But like I know it's just weird. It's just weird. I don't know. It doesn't feel like I'm not like, oh God, like
No.
I don't want to see this. It's just like this is steady. This is steady.
It's not the most fresh.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's cool.
It's cool. So that's it for the highlights of the week. Of course, the highlights of the week can be found in your show notes or show descriptions. We do little handy dandy playlists for you. So you can like watch along or just listen to us because we're fun. Everybody loves that.
We're fun.
So today we are going to do another shoot segment. Yes, the shoot is back. And a shoot is any like unplanned, unscripted, real life occurrence, normally within wrestling. But today we're going to use it to just either get stuff off our chest or to give somebody flowers. And today we will be giving flowers to Trick Williams.
Trick Williams. Yes, we love you, Trick Williams. Let's go. Why are we giving Trick Williams flowers today, Mari, and not any other day of the week?
Because Trick Williams is doing such an amazing job in NXT. He truly is. Like we said, we're trying to keep this tight. You know, we we can only cover but so much, and I watch NXT sometimes. Matt never watches NXT because he hates them, and so
I'm not gonna respond. You're just trying to. I'm trying to be zen right now, and I do watch NXT. I do watch it
periodically, and so but we're giving a big shout out to Trick Williams because he is doing such amazing stuff over there. He has been doing it. Him and Mello have been like just carrying down there, and it's been so fun and amazing. But this week, after Trick has come back and he's challenged Mello to a match at NXT Stand and Deliver. That's their WrestleMania their WrestleMania pay-per-view that weekend. He did this amazing promo, and it is just amazing to see the growth that he has done over 2 years. Like, I remember his first promo in NXT and how he was. I remember thinking, and I'm pretty sure we covered it on the show, but I remember thinking like he was really hyped, like he was really overhyped. He was talking really fast. He was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just seemed like a kid in a candy store who was like learning the ropes. And this promo that he did this week that he delivered so passionately, I was like, oh my God, like so steady, so calm, so like forceful in voice where you're like believing everything he's saying while still having that swaggy, turning that Trick Williams like up. I mean, it was amazing. And not only that, he telegraphed the whole storyline between him and Carmelo for the past 2 years, talking about how they were brothers, how he stood behind Melo when Melo was getting good, how Trick was like, I want to be on that level, how I went to Sean and I asked like, what can I do to be on that level? And he trained hard, he worked hard, and he slowly started eclipsing Melo, and people were slowly like, dog, Melo's not for you. And to culminate in him getting attacked, we find out months later, we found out it was Melo. Melo now is fully like turned heel, and we've seen that. It's just like this storyline is so good. Like, if you're going to split up a team, this is how you do it.
Well, it's wild too because I really, like a couple months ago, appreciated how they had the attack storyline, and it was so much different than what we're used to, though, because like we thought they'd break up, we thought that was the end. It really was. It felt like it was nothing. And then it comes back around. Like, what?
Yep.
Like 5 months later,
so
it's
good.
gonna pay off. And then they still have to have that match, which probably will be at Stand and Deliver. But I love Trick Williams' evolution because he went from being this like sidekick straight
Yeah,
up. And he
straight
talks
up.
about it too. But like being a comedy character alongside Mello, or just being like the accompaniment, the appetizer, the side dish. But
Mhm.
he's becoming the main course. Like,
It's
and it's
amazing.
and the thing that I mean, I think for a lot of people was like the highlight of this promo, which on, or I should say of this segment, was the juicy kiss that happened, which I think
Yes.
also is like another level of going deeper with this character, because now Trick Williams, and I feel okay like framing it from his perspective, Trick Williams has a love interest in the
Mhm.
stories too.
Yeah, like, I think people so perfectly, explain that it's like a black exploitation character. It's like you're fighting, fight, fight, fight. You stop. You give a kiss. You give some love, and then you fight again. It was so
Hmm.
funny. And Trick Williams and Lash Legend are actually dating in real life, from what I understand.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. And so metaphor. So after Trick does this great promo, it's so amazing, just awesome. Metaphor, the heel goofy heel group that's been like terrorizing NXT for months now. Again, we haven't been able to talk about it, but Jakara Jackson, Lash Legend, Noam Dar, and I always forget the fourth guy's name. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
Mari.
I know it. It's
You
right
know him.
there,
He's right
but
there.
I can't.
Yeah. You know him. You
Oh
know.
my god, I'm so mad. It's right
Amari, how
there.
do you not know? It is obviously Oro Mensa, duh.
Thank you, Oral Mensa. Thank you. I
Everyone
appreciate
knows
that.
that. Come
That
on.
quick Google.
Thank you. Thank
And
you,
so
Wikipedia.
they've just been so funny. And so they come out, they're like, we want to steal your
Ooh.
shine, Trick. And Noam and Oro get beat up. Lash gets a kiss, and it throws Metaphor for a loop. There are a couple of backstage segments too that were really funny, but this set the internet on fire.
And let me just say this too, that it was interesting because I was so um Trick like dips Lash for the kiss, but he did not
He didn't
actually
initiate
go in
it.
for the kiss. She
She
did.
did.
She did,
Yep.
which I think I was like, oh
Yeah.
no, is this gonna be cringe? I don't know. But it was like less cringe because they were just staring at each other, and then she's like, oh, like let's let shucky ducky quack quack is what she
Shucky ducky
said.
quack quack. Yep.
And yeah, beautiful moment. I wonder what that means for them together. Like, will they be together as a
On
couple on the show?
screen.
I
Yeah.
miss having couples on
Me
our
too.
TVs. It's been a minute.
Speaking of which, shout out to the 20-year anniversary of the Trish Stratus turning on Chris Jericho storyline.
I'm pissed that they weren't actually, a couple. Why lie to
I
me?
I'm not gonna go into it because I've gone into it in too much detail on this podcast, but the Chris Jericho tries to seduce Trish Stratus while
Mm.
Christian tries to seduce Lita storyline is literally my
It was
favorite
literally one of my
storyline
favorite storylines.
in wrestling.
I
And
love that. And I was so bummed too. I remember at Armageddon 2003 when Trish and Lita lost to Christian and Chris Jericho because
and
like
that
they're so much
jibber
better.
jabber
Why didn't they
Yep.
win?
Yep.
I don't get it.
It
And then
was so
Trish
good.
slapping the taste out of a blue tights Chris Jericho's mouth at WrestleMania 20, which was the day, as I told you, the day before my very first wrestling show or WWE
Yes, you
show,
did.
the Raw After Mania, March 15th, 2004. I love this.
Oh, yes. And it's why we need more believable love storylines in
Yeah.
WWE and NXT. But we got
Or
to shout out,
any period or any.
honestly. Yeah. So
Yeah, it is
shout out to Trick
wild.
Williams.
Shout out to Trick Williams.
He
Happy for the
has,
evolution of his character. What does he have?
yes, he has the whole crowd chanting "Whip that trick" in NXT. Like he is over. But
Yes,
I need to also let
please.
everybody know that when Memphis was shouting "Whip
Thank
that
you.
trick" at The Rock,
Unrelated.
Unrelated, unfortunately. I get it. We all love Trick Williams,
Yeah.
but Whoop That Trick originated in Memphis. Again, this is what happens when we use
Yeah.
AAVE and not know the origins of it.
Yes.
So they chanted "Whoop That Trick" at The Rock when The Rock talked about whooping Cody Rhodes' mom, and they also shouted it at Dakota Kai when Bayley to Bayley to whoop her.
Yeah, and she did. And Bayley did.
Hilarious. It was great. So Trick Williams is over. He is completely over, y'all.
But
He's
not
just
that.
not that over.
Not that over. But no, it's funny because I didn't even realize where the show was happening until I heard Whoop That Trick, and I'm like, oh, okay, they're in Memphis. Okay, got it. Yeah, got it. Oh, okay. Like literally, that was the thing that reminded, or that not even reminded
Yep.
me, that told me they were there. So
Yep.
yeah, no, but they did
So
actually reference that. One of the commentators said
they
something like,
did.
"Oh, I'm sure Trick Williams is appreciating all the love tonight," or whatever.
And for Trick's part, like he put out a really awesome tweet. He's like, "Shout out to Memphis. If you know, you know. Thank you. If you know, you know." And then he also tagged the original rapper, I believe. Like
Have
one
we
of the
talked
original
about this?
rappers.
Trick is from Memphis, right?
Is he?
Is he? I don't think he is what I'm
No,
saying.
I don't think so.
I don't think
I
so.
don't know
No,
where he's
he's from
from.
South Carolina. He's billed from
Okay.
South Carolina. Okay,
Oh,
that's
good.
even funnier.
Good for him. Yeah, I mean
Moved to
that
Memphis.
they're really close. I mean, isn't South Carolina right above Tennessee?
Is this a geography
It
lesson?
is. Yeah, surprise, you're on
Sure.
3-point trivia again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, they're close. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so but anyways, like I just have to put that
Yeah,
out there. But honestly, big shout outs to Trick Williams. I can't wait to follow this. Even if again, even if we're not covering it here, we're still following it. And if you do want to hear us cover it, reach out to us. Let us know.
Please.
Yeah, like let us know and we can cover it because that's it for the shoot. And if you do want to let us know what you want us to cover, Matt, tell me where the people can find you to let you know what they want us to cover.
Oh yeah, well, you could find me at Matt Scott GW on all the different platforms. You could also find me, well, Mari will mention this again later, but in the Job as a Squadcast Facebook group, like let us know. I'm gonna post in the group a couple of times, like just to ask folks for any thoughts or questions or anything you want to share leading up to Mania, or just post in the group and we'll be there and hopefully check that out. Maybe pull some of that into the show or bring it up and reference it. But otherwise, look, I'm here living my best life on the Wrestling RHAPup, planning for some other podcasts coming up. But just want to point people to my show Pod Friends on the RHAP network. Rob has website.com/podfriends feed, where I interview people in the RHAP community, the people who you might see at some of the live shows that happen or on some of the podcasts, whether those are just podcasters or some of the players who are players from Survivor and the like, who are now part of the community more and more. So check that out. And that is where you could find me. And you'll also, if we haven't said it enough, be able to find me and Mari at Wrestlemania. So let us know if you'll be at Mania. I don't know how many people have let us know, but let us know if you'll be at Mania or in Philly, and we hope that we'll see you there. But speaking of people who I see places, Mari, where could I see you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Mari Talks Too Much. That's 2, like the number 2. And every week, me and Sarah Carradine bring True Crime Tuesdays to RHAP over on the Crime Scene podcast. This past week, we were with guest Omer Zahir talking about The Truth About Jim, which was a docuseries where a granddaughter believes that her step-grandfather may have been a serial killer. So she goes on an investigation to try and figure that out. Coming up this week, we will be tag teaming with the Mess Magnets to cover Quiet on Set, the Nickelodeon like scandal. Like,
oh my gosh, Mari,
I'm excited about it.
By the way, I have to say I'm definitely going to be tuning into that one. Like, I just to shout out there's so much about that's out there.
It
That's
is out there
crazy.
now.
Some of
It's
their former
ridiculous.
stars out
Mhm.
there. Shout Alexa Nicholas is one person who's just a big
Really?
advocate, bringing up a lot of it back from
Mhm.
Zoe 101 back in the day. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, I love that this is coming to light though, because like the abuse has been an
It's
open
been
secret for
happening.
so
Yeah.
long. I don't
Mhm.
understand how, but yeah, let's shut it down. Shut
Shut
it
it all
down.
down.
Ugh.
Yeah. So in order to hear all of that, you got to go to robhasawebsite.com/crime feed in order to
Yeah.
subscribe
You
so
should
that
bring
you
me
can
on
hear
soon,
us.
Mari.
Yeah, we should. We should have you on in the real close future.
Maybe the week after
Yeah.
Dragnet, I could come
Maybe.
on and
Yeah, we'll
talk
find
about.
something for you.
Yeah, I found a really great docu-series called Can I Tell You a Secret? That you should check it out. There's a guy
Okay.
named Matt Hardy in it.
Yes,
Weird.
there is.
Is it the same one? Tune in to
Who
find
knows?
out if we actually do it in a week and a half. Check it out.
So yes, and then of course you can find me at the recap kickback every week. Me and Chappelle are just like talking about whatever he wants to talk about. Everybody's invited to the kickback. It's an open discussion. Come join us. This week we just wrapped up part 1 of our Black TV show theme song bracket. It's March Madness. We're doing
Yeah.
brackets. We're doing
How
theme songs.
How dare you, though, only release part 1? And I have to
We
say,
had
I
to.
was so ready to hit play on it,
Uh-huh.
but I said, I can't start now. I have to wait till part 2 comes out. I could
Well,
binge it
don't
all.
be like Matt. Listen to part 1
I
right now,
downloaded it.
and and then next week we'll be bringing you part 2 and the finale of who will win the Black TV show theme song bracket. Like it's a tight race.
Okay, it
It'll be
is
a tight race.
interesting. I'm very curious. I also am sure that okay, Mari, I've been thinking about this podcast episode for so long. Like, if the
Mhm,
people aren't tuning in to this theme song bracket, Black TV theme song bracket, they're
mhm.
missing out. I've been thinking about
Yeah.
it. I've been thinking, like, is it a winner if it's a great song versus a great theme song? Like, what's
Oh
the
yeah.
criteria? I know
We
you talk
debate it.
about. I know.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm ready. I'm gonna have to
Mhm.
get like really comfy and like be in a special place to listen to this one.
Yeah,
Like,
we
I'm pumped.
really were like, does the show itself have like bearing on how you view the theme song and stuff like that. So we had a great discussion, me, Chappelle, and Ty.
Mhm.
So definitely check it out. We're gonna have Jason on. We should have Jason and Ty on next week, hopefully.
Cool.
Yeah, and we're just having fun over there. We're having so much fun on the kickback. So make sure you subscribe going to recapkickback.com. And if you go to if you join the recap kickback Facebook group, we have the blank bracket over there, and we have it at our Twitter at recap kickback. So you can fill out your bracket and you can show it to us and tell us what you think. Like, we're so excited to hear.
Yeah, yeah. I will say I did download my graphic. I need to print it out, put my feet up,
Mhm.
all of it. I'm so pumped. Mari, and shout out to you and Chappelle for the recap kickback. Like, I just love that it could be so Black and special
Mhm.
and two amazing people. I feel like I've been on all the episodes of Recap Kickback just because you and Chappelle are there. So
We'll have to have you on an actual episode.
hey, what look, we'll get there whenever we
We'll
get
figure it
there.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. There we go.
Yeah.
Any other plugs?
Just for Wrestling RHAPup. So
Thank
again,
you.
we're gonna keep hitting it home. You gotta go subscribe to our new YouTube channel. If you're listening to us right now, but you're not watching, go to youtube.com/at Wrestling RHAPup. The at is very important. youtube.com
Hmm.
at Wrestling RHAPup. So you can subscribe to our new YouTube channel. So you can find us. I know people might be confused. They're like, wait, you're on RHAP.
You've
Why
been
aren't
on
you over
YouTube.
there? It's like, well, we're over here now, and it's still the same. It's all good. We're just at a different channel, so come follow us.
Yeah.
Um, Also, you can leave some 5-star reviews over on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. You can send us any emails. Wrestling at RHAPhasawebsite.com as well. And definitely go follow us on Twitter. We're having fun on Twitter at Wrestling RHAPup on Twitter, at Wrestling RHAPUP wrap up. We're having so much fun. And finally, I can't go without saying this.
Oh, thank
It
you
is a
so much,
great
Mari.
time.
Oh, I thought you were thanking
I
me.
was not about to
Mari.
thank you. No, not
Oh,
right now.
man.
This anytime is a good time, but this is the best time to become a patron of RHAP's Patreon. There you go.
Right.
Go to patreon.com/RHAP to become a patron. It is amazing. We are in full swing Survivor season. Amazing Race started. We have BB Can 12 going on. We have so much going on here on the RHAP network, and you could have even more content if you're a patron. You get exclusive access to patron 5 for 5, patron Q&As, all this good stuff. And so why not? Why aren't you a patron already?
Yeah, why not?
Go
Yeah.
subscribe.
Why aren't you a patron already? Do you
Yeah.
support us? Do you believe in us? Well, become a patron.
And tell them that the Wrestling RHAPup sent you.
Do that. And by the way, just speaking of Patreon and patrons, one of the great things is that there are different community events that happen, RHAP live shows. So there's one coming up in Chicago, which may or may not be sold out at this point. Probably sold out at this point. But anyway,
I think it is. I think there's a wait list.
I use that and the mention of Survivor to tell you, Mari, which I could totally tell you off podcasts, but I'll tell you, we did our Wrestling with Survivor 46 episode, and I met the one and only legend of Survivor 46, Jelinski. Bryce, iconic Bryce Isaiah, said, "Hey, have you met Matt?" And like the first thing out my mouth was like, "Hey, we did a podcast about you, comparing you to wrestlers." And he was like, "Oh yeah, you compared me to Baron Corbin and Chad Gable." And he was, I think he was flattered, So look at us.
That's awesome.
Look at us. There we go. Go team. This is the longest outro, mostly due to me, but I think it was worth it.
Yeah, it was fun. So thank you so much, Matt. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mari. Thank you, everyone.
We got some big business to take care of. So we'll see you next week. Remember, wrestling is for everybody, but not all wrestling is for everyone. Bye.
Throw 'em up, lay it down just like Matt and Mari. Wrestling RHAPup's gonna make it sorry. Feeling like The Rock cause I'm driving in Ferraris. And we coming every week and it's feeling like a party. Mula Ric Flair, showing out like Bianca, Belair, Best podcast, flush it in the air, Roman Reigns and we win it, don't care, No cap. Throw 'em up, lay it down just like Matt and Mari. Wrestling RHAPup's gonna make it sorry. Feeling like The Rock cause I'm driving in Ferraris. And we coming every week and it's feeling like a party.
What the